Hello, everyone. Welcome to another brand new episode of App Consult Insights. I'm your co-host, Marc, and I'm here with my colleague, friend, and the other co-host, Matteo. And today we want to talk about the latest announcement that have been made the day before yesterday, about WinUI 3, as well as the new Preview 3 that has been dropped. And Matteo is going to show us a couple of new things, couple of demos today. But first of all, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Okay, great. So, do you have anything to share for the beginning, or want we just drop right in and have you and your demo ready?
Yeah, let's dive in right away with a very small demo. First, just a premise. So WinUI is, in terms of feature set, is already a mature and stable and rich environment. So in this preview, you won't find any lot of shiny, big, crazy new features. The overall goal of the WinUI team is to make sure that everything that you have in WinUI today for UWP apps will work just great also with desktop apps, because we all know that one of the main goals of WinUI 3.0 is to detach the UI layer from Windows into a NuGet package, so that you can build WinUI experiences regardless if you are using the UWP app model or the Win32 app model. However, this doesn't mean that Preview 3 doesn't contain some new exciting features. Well, the first thing I would like to highlight, and I will use for this demo a sample app I built a while ago. It's a very simple app, but it shows how to bring the best of both worlds. So from a UI point of view, you can see how this looks like a WinUI application. So you can easily change the theme, you have the date picker, you have the traditional buttons, text box. This is the look and feel of a UWP application. However, under the hood, this is a desktop application. So I have APIs, I have classes to access to the registry, to write to the file system. It's a full Win32 application. The first change that Preview 3 brings to the table is that now it's aligned to the final release of .NET 5. Last week, me and Marc shared about some news around .NET 5. Microsoft has finally released the RTM, the final release of .NET 5, and now the Preview 3 is aligned to this release. So WinUI is running on top of the latest version of the framework. This also is aligned with the release of C# WinRT. C# WinRT is the projection which enables desktop applications to access to WinRT APIs through C#. Also, this library, which is heavily used by WinUI, is now aligned with .NET 5. Another big change that you can see here in the project file is that now we have support also for Windows 10 ARM64. So now you can run WinUI apps in a native way also on devices like the Surface Pro X. But most of all, I think the biggest feature in Preview 3 is not really around the framework, but it's more about the tooling experience. If you have played with the previous versions of WinUI, you have realized that one of the biggest pain points was the bad development experience. You didn't have Intellisense, you didn't have the designer, so working with the UI was quite challenging. With WinUI 3, Preview 3, and Visual Studio Preview, instead, we get a much better experience. So now you can see that the app is running with the debugger connected, and I have access, for example, to the live visual tree. So I can explore and analyze all the controls which I have in my page. But most of all, I have one of the biggest feature for XAML developers, which is Hot Reload, XAML Hot Reload. So, for example, you can see that here I have a text box, which is the one you can see here at the top. I can just update this text box, and as you can see, the changes are reflected immediately. This is huge for XAML developers, because this means that I don't have to stop and run the application again every time I make a change to the layout. Additionally, with this new feature, I get also final Intellisense. So now I can just go to this, for example, control, and as you can see, the Intellisense is populated with all the controls, with all the properties that this control can use. There are a couple of additional new features, like now we have support for render target bitmap, which is an API of WinUI, which allows you basically to grab screenshot of your application or pieces of XAML and render them as bitmap. And you have also custom cursors, so you can customize the way the mouse cursor behaves based on the logic you prefer. Again, to wrap up, not crazy new wow features. Again, WinUI is feature complete, not meaning that it already has a rich set of controls, a rich set of features. The overall goal of these previews is to bring this rich ecosystem also to desktop application. But I think the biggest takeaway is indeed the better tooling support. Even if it's just a preview and you just want to play with this technology, these improvements will help you in getting up and running faster.
May I just reiterate on that, or just ask you a question? So in our previous WinUI 3 episode, we discussed that we are expecting, or we have planned, or the WinUI team has planned to make a Preview 3 go live compatible. Are we at this point yet or not?
No, Preview 3 is still to be considered a preview, not absolutely ready for production. The team has shared that there might be and probably will be breaking changes before the final release. So if you are building application or libraries around WinUI 3 Preview 3, you might have bad surprises once the next preview or the final version will ship. The team, one of the key takeaways that the team shared during the announcement is that WinUI 3 will ship somewhere in 2021. They are not committing anymore to a specific date or time frame, because the work to do is quite complex. Yes. And they already had the experience of sharing tentative dates. As you said, Preview 3 was supposed to have a go-live license, and then it didn't happen because they weren't able to respect this time frame. So they are still committed in releasing in 2021. They just don't have, don't share a specific date or time, because things will evolve based on the work to do.
Okay, so basically start playing with it, but don't expect it to work in the final release, because there will be API changes and so on.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Did they share anything else besides that, like maybe like the next step in the roadmap or something like that?
So as I said, the goal is to release in 2021. They are evaluating if there will be also a Preview 4 before the final release, or after Preview 3 they will ship directly the final release. This is a conversation they are still having internally, and they will share more plans in the future.
Okay, great. I think that wraps it up. So as Matteo said, start playing with it. Don't expect it. Wait for the next release, next preview, in order to iterate on your projects. And yeah, I think that's it from our side, right? Do you have anything to add?
No, you just said everything. So thanks for listening, and keep an eye on our channel. We will publish new videos in the coming weeks. Bye-bye.